What is the future of estate and letting agency CRMs in the UK? Today I'm joined by Mark Hinkins, who is Head of Sales for Rex, the Australian CRM system. What is the future of estate and agency CRMs? Talk to me.
So I think estate agency CRMs in the UK are actually starting to be in a really, really good place. So if you looked 5-6 years ago, Rex didn't exist in the UK, Street didn't exist in the UK. The developments in some of the other CRMs just didn't really exist, and agents were flat with no real choice of systems that they could go with. Now, fast forward to 2024, and we've got 3 or 4 systems in the UK who are developing significantly and are providing agents with a lot more choice for something that will fit how they operate.
Yeah, because I've always thought CRMs as kind of like a pain in the arse of just collecting your records, and they don't do anything. They
Absolutely.
don't help. They were depositories for names.
Yeah, absolutely. They're basically just somewhere to store your data, and that's it. But the more modern systems,
They were glorified spreadsheets.
glorified spreadsheets. Yeah, that's absolutely right. And really, what they were actually good at is just the transactional part of estate agency. So you get valuation in, you convert it to an instruction, you book your viewings, you do your sales progression, and then you archive absolutely everything.
Oh, don't even get me on that one.
Exactly. Now, what they're turning into and what they should be evolving into is actually putting the R in CRM, so being relationship managers as well. So the moment that someone sells a property, that is not or buys a property, that's not the end of their journey with you. You look at the lifetime value of that potential customer, and that buyer now is going to be a seller with you in 4 or 5 years' time, whenever that's going to be. And if you are leveraging that data correctly and you're building that relationship and you're doing absolutely everything else that you could be, that CRM is housing and helping you to maintain that relationship and increase the conversion chance of turning that buyer into a seller in 5-6 years from now.
So in essence, you're saying CRMs are actually creating business for agents as opposed to just being a glorified spreadsheet.
Absolutely.
How do they do that?
So they do
without being a sales promoter of you.
without being a sales promoter. So they should be automating parts of the relationship journey. So they should be helping you to follow up. They should be sending out useful content to your buyers and to your sellers, and helping you do those things that you really feel that you should be doing, but because it's automated or because it's prompting you to do them, they're making sure they're actually getting done.
One of the biggest problems with CRMs is a bit like people with banks, is that their perception is they're all the same and it's a pain in the backside to swap over. What advice would you give to any CRM firm of helping agents help them swap over?
Yeah, so I think you look at the average CRM contract and you're probably looking at 2 or 3 years. So if you're coming to the end of that contract for 3-4 months left, we know that probably if the average is 2 years, that 1 in 6 agents will be coming to the end of their contract. All that we're suggesting is that you look to see what else is out there. Now, tech moves forward massively. If you've been with the same CRM for the last 10 years, just think of what Instagram looked like then, or think of what Facebook looked like, or think of what your iPhone did 10 years ago. It's significantly less than what it's able to do now. And if your CRM's not been developing in that time, and you suddenly start looking at other systems, you will see there being a massive difference, and you'll see where you're missing out on opportunities that other CRMs.
Okay, that's great. But answering the question, how do you get them to swap over?
How do you get them to swap over?
Because to be honest with you, none of you do a good job at that, if you don't mind me saying.
No, I don't think we do in particular. I think.
Why is that? Why are you so shit? And I say you. Why are CRM so shit at helping people trans from one to the other?
I think, first of all, we look at it, and I don't think CRM marketing is usually that great. It's not particularly exciting, the whole kind of story that we tell around CRM. And look, there are some fantastic success stories when you look at businesses who have moved systems, have gone through the kind of slight pain barrier, and then have really, really started to accelerate. And we don't do a good enough job about telling those stories and really then focusing on the client profile that we as businesses.
Do you think you at Rex could improve that marketing?
100%, yeah.
So 100%. why haven't you not doing that?
I think it's something that is starting to improve, but it's kind of understanding the growth of estate agency, and estate agency has changed massively since the COVID period.
Still not answering the question there.
Still not answering the question.
No, why, okay, let's take it away from you. Why do you think CRMs are so atrocious at their marketing?
I think maybe in some instances don't get the customer enough.
Okay, well, I like succinct. What do you think CRMs could do better to help them move the transition? I mean, is it as big a problem as people perceive?
So the data transition is not as big a problem as most people perceive. And really the quality of data that you're storing in, look, if we look at it really, really straight to the point, 91% of contacts in your database have not been contacted in the last 6 months. So realistically, if you lost all of your data from over 6 months ago, you probably weren't going to do anything with it. But that's not going to cut the mustard when we talk to agents about it. So what's really, really important is, can we get that data that's in your system into your new system, and can you start benefiting from what's in that? And the answer to that is we've moved data from about 15 different CRMs. It is a lot less painful than you expect it will be, and the pain barrier will be significantly reduced, and the benefits you get from it will be so much more.
Do you think you could get that message across a bit better?
Absolutely.
There you go. I mean, I didn't want to turn this into a marketing lesson, but quite frankly, all your CRMs, you're atrocious at your marketing, because to be honest with you, I know Rex is good, and I know the others that you've mentioned are good as well, and there's plenty of crap out there. It's how do you get inside people's heads to get them to buy into you as a person, and then the product, and bring them across. Interesting. Thank you for your time today, Mark.
Thanks, Chris.